What does it mean to subdue? What does it mean to subdue?
Here's the definition of subdue: overcome, quieten, or bring under control a feeling or person.
Overcome, quieten, or bring under control. Thought manipulation, mind control. Most of decision making that is made in the halls of Congress is military. Subduing the world by forcing everyone to think a particular way. Propaganda. The one who controls the propaganda makes him or her master of the world for this reality. All those who come in contact with this has accepted it and has become enslaved by it. Paraphrasing something that Marcus Garvey has shared when it comes to propaganda. The difference between mass and matter.
According to Byju's, according to the general definition, matter is anything that occupies space and has mass. On the other hand, mass is a quantity that measures of the quantity of matter in a particular object, particle, or space.
What are you shooting for? And what are you shooting at? It says, students should understand the difference between mass and matter. Reputation or reality. The aim is accountability. In the so-called, I say, not to be condescending, but when there is lack of accountability, it is due to moral and cultural decline. It is called recidivism. And in the religious sense, they call it missing the mark of sin. Yes. The difference must understand, should understand, it said. Out of understanding comes consciousness. Under a stand, that which gives support. Some people use the language over a stand. Over a stand. But the difference. So we must learn to overcome what? Our differences. But this definition says that students should understand the difference between mass and matter accordingly, which means one should, that which arises is a question of governance. Governance. It says, govern yourself accordingly. He was in one place and on one accord. It is said that Pied Piper played the flute so well that he led the rats to the sea to be drowned. Something that is plain, stringing you along. What constructs or reconstructs our thoughts when it comes to our decision making? propaganda. But it's a general definition, not specific, general. Matter. We all are subject to matter. Matter is energy that occupies space. That which occupies the mind, conditions the mind. That's just the nature of the mind. The mind at its best is to be what? Productive. Having value. Turn up the what? The value. Pump it up. And has mass. That which has mass. I've learned, don't necessarily mean that it's so, that the universe speaks one language. That's the language of frequency, that which we do on a daily basis. Give us this day our daily bit. What is constructing us, that which we are consuming on a daily basis, and that which is being covered. Covering up or coverage. Propaganda. Because what matters is that you become subjected to that propaganda. A prime example. I think Kwame Ture said the duty of the conscious is to make the unconscious aware of their unconscious behavior. We could look at mainstream people who are considered to be celebrated because it benefits the institution that promotes the propaganda. And there are those who are doing admirable work, but it's not in mainstream. It's not being covered or internationally accepted because he or she is not marketable. Well, it will be marketable. Market. Market is where you buy goods, Yeah, something that is to be bought or to be sold. And there are some who refuse to sell what is called their soul. Soul is the self. I don't know if it's the bar or the car, but the self. So that which is investing, an investment is an investment of self. Space and mass. On the other hand, two hands, other hand. One hand washes the other, but is it good to let your left hand know what your right hand doing? I don't know. You look at that concept there. Because you remember, I just used the word black or white. It's not nothing factual, just conceptual. It's conceptual. So because, it comes out of the thoughts of the minds of humans, On the other hand, mass is the quantity, that which is occupying the mind, quantity of it. That which is being entertained. That measures. You look at the word measures, you got the word me, you got the word assure. It's like a sense of certainty. Or it could be a sense of uncertainty. Of the quantity of the energy called what? Matter. Consciousness is eternal. So it is the value. And one's value is unlimited. But in a particular object, which means it's particular in place in the object or particular manner of that which is dealing with an object or that which is an objective. That is not being reached. and it comes together as particles, and then it forms one's reality. And this is what that which propaganda does. It constructs and forms one's reality for its own invested what? Interest. And this is the message that is given to the world. It's also alluded to culture hegemony. Sister Anima really brought that to my attention. That this is a humanity that I'm going to give to the world, and this is the humanity that I'm going to propagandize or coverage or report. This image that is being projected and applied to a particular people. And saying this is their behavior. And this is their mentality, because that which needs to be killed is a certain mentality, because laws comes out of the minds of people, of human beings. So we're dealing with a mentality. You can tell the collective psychology of one's mentality by what he or she produces. So what is the quality of people that is being produced? By the society at large. Paul Starr wrote in his book, The Curation of the Media. He talks about the path of the American development. He says 4 ways of institution building in American history. He says hold special importance for communication. The American Revolution, the writing of the Constitution, and the development of such institutions such as the post office, the common school, copyright law, and popular press. And the early republic left a legacy, leg to stand on, of foundational decisions that were especially important in shaping the legal and normative framework of the public sphere. That which shapes the grand narrative of propaganda or media coverage. How it is shaping and giving you this reality. Who else does that? We look at Hollywood. So what is the solution to this all? As I said, there's a certain mentality that needs to be killed, and that which could be killing people is the wrong type of education, or that which could be killing people is resistance to change, because change is a product of human effort. I've said I speak from 5.5 channels of communication, because we're talking about channels of communication. And the 5 channels is understanding, tolerance, temperance / temperament, confidence, and respect. These are the 5.5 channels that I communicate from, because the last thing historically that Alexander destroyed was the communication system. The first thing was the image. Once you destroy the image of how people see themselves, and able to communicate that destruction. You must change the image. The I am. That is, the I am is the psychological impact and physiological concern. Psychological impact or physiological impact. I don't know which one to use, impact or concern. Psychological and physiological. We look at the word I am. I am is a contraction word, which means you're about to give birth to something. Something must break. When something is give birth or something, that means that the environment, the living environment, has become insufficient. So you've got to come out from it. darkness, come out from darkness into the light. Talking about stuff is just being exposed. And then you got the word age. Age is a represents of maturity. But yet, can you put new wine in old wineskins? No, they'll bust. So there's something new and improved. New and improved that must take place. And that is a different way of thinking. Because the old patterns, the old way of thinking, because vision stems from the source of your thinking. It was attributed to Elijah Muhammad. It says that. Then there certainly need to be an asar, how we organize our thoughts, which comes to the forefront of our mind. To be well rounded off, like a smooth stone that is hurled. Bring down Goliath. In these 5.5 channels in which I communicate, understanding, tolerance, temperament, confidence, respect, I approach the understanding progressive understanding. Universal in the tolerance. His approach is universal. Holistic in the temperament. Comprehensive in the approach of the confidence. You comprehend our confidence. I often say that Dr. Du Bois said he didn't go to Harvard because they had better teachers. He went there because the environment was conducive for learning. What are we aiming for? What are we shooting for? What are we shooting at? It is accountability. And when there is a lack of accountability, there's moral culture decline. It's called recidivism. And, people give a definition of insanity. Break the spell of this illusion, because people are becoming very disoriented, very delusional, very disgruntled, man. Dealing with a spirit of apathy, man. Apathy. So yeah, then the last channel of communication, I approach that conscientiously. And that is to respect. The understanding is to restore social credibility. The tolerance is to redress social diversity. The temperament is to revise social coherency. The confidence is to replenish the social continuity. And the respect is to reclaim social solidarity. Until next time.